All right, we are back here with Marissa on Modern Agent Blueprint, and today we're going to be talking about what to post when the market slows down. So, as you know, the market has taken a turn lately, and things have definitely slowed down. And I was just talking with Marissa and Renee on here before we got started. Business is slow. So what can we do when business goes slow? Now we have time, we don't have that excuse that we're too busy.
Yeah.
So what should we be doing in order to really keep the business flowing and start bringing in some people to fill up that pipeline? So Marissa, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Yeah. And I will probably end up sharing my screen. You made me a co-host, right,
I
Nicole?
did. Yep.
Because I will probably end up sharing my screen on like just a few examples, but I don't have like a formal presentation. So either if anyone else jumps on or Nicole, please jump in at any point and like add your thoughts too. Um, but the biggest thing we can do in this time, because like you said, Nicole, like that was gonna be like one of my, I think, biggest points here, right? Is like everyone's always, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I don't have time to go like record at different shops and businesses and whatever, or do home tours or do this and this. Well, if the problem is that the market's slowing down and our business is slowing down, no more excuses. And we can't just sit here and be unhappy that we don't have business. Like we need to take action. And it's either there's 7 million ways we can prospect. We're here to talk about social media, but like either get on the phones, start doing some other marketing, start creating some email campaigns, go and create some videos for social media, like whatever the heck it is, go door knock. Like there are so many choices to prospect. We're going to focus on social media based things today and like what we should be posting, engaging, doing all of that. But the excuse is gone. We are slow,
Right.
and that's why we're here. So,
Yep.
the best thing that I can recommend in these times is go become the local expert. So, go to the coffee shops, go to activity, go to a local event, go to whatever, and you don't have to be some like awesome creative person capturing these super fancy TikTok viral things. Literally just get like Nicole and I went to a coffee shop in Ann Arbor. I got her grabbing the coffee from the barista, and then we like took a little video of us sitting down drinking coffee. Two little clips at this coffee shop. And like that's enough to just be like, hey, was out in Ann Arbor, tried this coffee shop. Have you guys been here yet? Right? Like they don't have to be these insane posts, but it's, hey, I was here. I was local. I'm doing these cool things. I'm showing off these things. It could be a cocktail at a new restaurant. It can be an appetizer that's your favorite. It can be whatever. I went to the library and there was a book club for kids or something, right? Like whatever's relevant and local to you is a great answer. So it shouldn't be like you're going out and trying to do all these like unique things. What the heck are you doing anyways? Are your kids all going back to school? Cool. What did you make for your teachers? Because we have to make something for everybody nowadays, and everything
Right.
deserves a gift. So, did I make up a going back to school treat for my teachers? So, it's like, what are you doing naturally, anyways? Just make a video about it because then you're going to get engagement. You're staying in front of your audience and you're reminding these people, hey, I'm in real estate. And then the key is, and this is where it gets you, if you've seen us talk before, you've probably heard this, use that same crap for your emails, right? So if I'm posting about it here, I'm going to then highlight it in my weekly newsletter. So then it's everywhere and I don't have to do 10 things. But instead of me being busy before and maybe I didn't actually go to the event and I just put it in my newsletter, like, hey, there's this kid thing coming up, go and check it out. I'm actually going to go to it and then I'm going to take a video and I'm also going to post about it. So I was too busy for that before. I'm no longer too busy. So now I'm going, I'm making content, I'm becoming a local expert. And then the other thing that we can and should be doing now is maybe a new construction home tour, going to show a luxury home tour. I'm going to go and show off stuff that would attract my ideal client. So if I really want to be a relocation expert, I'm going to go show off a bunch, like what does 300,000 get me in Ann Arbor? What does 500,000 get me in Ann Arbor? What does 800,000 get me in Ann Arbor? And I'm going to be the Ann Arbor specialist, right? If I want to be new construction, then I'm going to go show you every freaking new construction model that I can get into in my general area because then people are going to search and find me for all things new construction. If I want to be the farm home expert, right? Then I'm going to go find whatever farms that I can get into and go take that content. So anything that would be relevant to your area or relevant to your ideal client, because now we can be picky. I have time, I can create whatever content I want. It's not about what listings I have and, ooh, let me post this $150,000 listing, which we still should. Let me post this $150,000 listing that I just got. Do that. But then also, what's my ideal? And go and try and attract those clients, right? So that's the biggest thing that I would be doing. And then the last piece is open houses. Go, if you don't have open houses to host right now, find someone that you can host it for, whether it's in your team, your brokerage, even if you just know another agent in the community that might have more listings. Nicole has a couple great referral partners that she'll work closely with and stuff on. Like, find a couple network agents and partner with them on stuff. They probably don't want to host their open houses. If they've got quite a few listings going on, offer to host it and get some buyer leads out of it, get some seller leads out of it. The key there is go door knock the neighborhood before, door knock and email the neighborhood after with the results, even if it's not your win. You didn't negotiate that contract, right? So it's not technically your win. You still held the open house, you got the leads, you can still share the update. Hey, we ended up getting $10,000 over, even in this slower market. I can get those same results for you. I didn't get these results, but I can still generate those results. I know the strategy, I know what to do, right? So I'm going to go and brag to that neighborhood. We got this still, right? I can generate that result for you. If you're looking to move in the next 90 days, let's set up a time. I'd love to get you a home evaluation, blah, 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 right? So be posting about those. Share the win on social media. That's why we hold open houses for leads, but also for content. So I'm going to post about the open house that I'm hosting, and then I'm going to share the same thing that I would share to the email that I'd go door knock. I'm going to post about it too. We got blah, blah, blah results. If you're thinking about moving, I service all of Southeast Michigan. Can I help you too? Can I figure out what your home value is? Blah, 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 right? So we're getting creative. We're still going out and doing things, but now's the time that we get to start talking to our ideal client because we can just be nichey like that. So go be intentional with how you're spending your time and go find that business. So we want to be a market expert, be local to your area, go out and do fun things and create that content. But then also too, like what price points, whatever, right? Like go show homes in different markets. Like how are people searching on social, and then provide that content so they find you. Okay, that was a big rant.
I know. I got so many things to say on that. Okay, so couple things. So I have seen some people doing this recently where they're not hosting the open house, but they're going and visiting the open house of one of their friends, one of their agent friends. And they're like, hey, I'm going to come, love this house. It's beautiful. I'm going to come to your open house and I'm going to shoot some video while I'm there. So one, they're there to, help support their friend. Now, like if I went to Marissa's open house, I could tag Marissa and be like, hey, I'm coming by to see Marissa's beautiful listing, blah, blah, blah. Now we're both getting the exposure. We're both out there looking at the house. We both have content now. So now, and let's just say the open house is really busy. I'm taking content of
Right.
all the people in that open house and how cool it is to see everybody in that open house. So now it looks really good for Marissa because she can provide that to her client too. So that's one way of doing things instead of actually having to host your open house.
Yeah.
Go. The other thing I would say too, to bounce off of what you were saying is we're slow, right? Go to those broker opens, go to the open houses in the neighborhood, look and see what houses are on the market. If you're looking for content, I'm seeing a lot of agents doing this now where they're, showing like, the certain features of houses that they like. You can get those pictures right from the MLS. You can go to the house and do a video tour yourself. There's a lot of different ways that you can get that content. I'm also seeing a big uptick in my area of local content. So I've been doing a little bit more of that where I'm doing like just walking around downtown and I'm taking videos of different things. Taking videos of like random storefronts or like the people on the street, or like I was at dinner one night and in Ann Arbor, they have a lot of areas shut off for like the summertime. So they had like a band set up and they had kids were dancing in the street and I was eating dinner outside and it was just super cool. And I posted a video saying like Ann Arbor might be one of the coolest small towns in America. And I had so many views on that one. I had a lot of local businesses tagging or commenting on it. And even the coffee video that Marissa was talking about, I was just talking to her and she was recording. So it was actually, I think, more relatable. Because if you're just trying to do like this, like B-roll where like I'm just grabbing the coffee and trying to make it all aesthetic, it's not as relatable. So I was like making a joke to Marissa about how much sugar I was putting in my coffee. And that's what I made my video on, is like, I won't judge you on your gray walls if you don't judge me on how much sugar I put in my coffee. And the coffee shop commented, several local other businesses commented, so it's nice to have like that kind of thing going on. If you make sure when you're going to these businesses, if you're going to take pictures of your drinks or whatever, tag the business, because they
Yeah.
might want that to share on their stories, or maybe they want to collaborate with you on that reel and they want to be added so they can have that on their Instagram.
Yeah.
There's a lot of realtors. So like you were saying, like posting stuff that's like not necessarily real estate related, more relatable stuff. I feel like the people, like you look at Selling the Suburbs, Amanda. We've had her on a couple times here on Modern Agent Blueprint, and she does not share. I mean, she shares real estate stuff, but she also shares a lot of like the gifts she's doing,
Yep.
the open house things she's doing. So she's saying she's a realtor without really saying she's a realtor, but she also will do like drinks, cocktails,
Yeah.
gifts for teachers, gifts for whatever, like some of her like DIY projects. So if you're doing something, record it, right? Because you never know what you're going to find. I mean, I always feel like I'm not aesthetic enough for like what I want, but it's like whatever. Like I don't live in some big mansion with the all white kitchen. And I mean, I do have white in my kitchen, but it's not like the same. So, like you want to make sure you're posting things that are relatable, that are not necessarily all real estate related, because we're all people outside of real estate. Making sure that you are posting things that are relevant. So like, as we know right now, from what everyone has said, supposedly the interest rates are coming down in September. We'll see. But this is a great time for educating people of what's going to happen if the rates come down, right? We all know, we've all been here. If the rates come down, all of a sudden the buyers come back to the market and the prices go back up again. So if you want to post something, your hook should be something along the lines of, like, are you going to miss out on your dream house because there's 27 offers or something like that? Like, come up with a hook that could potentially cause somebody to be like, whoa, I should probably buy now instead of waiting until these rates come down. And then I'm going to get screwed and not be able to afford this house because it's going to go up $30,000. So, it might be something that you could get out there right now and start posting some of that educational stuff. And Nikki's not on today, but she has always been really good, I think, about posting educational videos on her Instagram. She has always posted stuff about interest rates, market updates, things that are happening in an industry. And I feel like that has really helped her business a lot, versus like more entertainment style videos. So I think that it's always good. We got to throw in the stuff that's important, that shows us, shows what we're doing now. The other thing I would say is look at your insights on Instagram and see what has worked well for you in the past. Post the exact same video. I was just about to do that the other day. I have a video. The only problem is that I actually saved the video again. I shouldn't say the only problem is I was going to just like repost it and change the date, but I can't edit it. So I'm going to have to redo the video. But use the videos that have worked in the past, go back and use them again. Who cares if your hair looks a little bit different? Nobody's going to notice that. And if they do, who cares? Like,
Literally. I still use all my brand shoot stuff from before I was even pregnant, and like don't look the same. I have long, super blonde hair and 40 pounds lighter pre-pregnancy. Like that's the content I still use. Not one time in the history of ever has anyone ever commented on that. No, because they care about the value and like what you're saying, not that like your hair's different now.
right. Right. That's the thing. I think we get like really like concerned or stuck in this, like, oh, I can't use that anymore because I don't look like that, or maybe it's not the right season. I would say try to stick to similar seasons. However,
Or be intentional about being evergreen in the first place, ideally,
yeah,
right? If we can control it, like don't have a winter hat and coat on in your photo or video shoots. Like
right.
be intentional about being as evergreen as possible. And by evergreen, I mean like not seasonally relevant, not something like really obvious one way or another what season it is. Like Nicole, we just shot some videos where she was in like a cute tank top and we were outside. not gonna probably look like we're in the winter, right? When we're posting that kind of content. So like
Right.
if you can be more like just wear a long sleeve or something, then if we're gonna be outside. Michigan, it can get a little tough because snow versus not snow and those type of settings, but it doesn't always snow here. So maybe I took the video on Monday when it was sunny and Friday it was a snowstorm. So don't overthink that either, because just be as
Right.
evergreen as you can and don't overthink it.
Well, and I would even say too, like, so if you guys watch what was it 2 weeks ago we had Brad on from
Hmm.
Windowsill, he was
This was
talking
great.
about training your algorithm.
Yeah.
So one of the things he said was like, go in, train your algorithm to show you like top producing agents or people who you are inspired by. And
Mhm.
then you can take ideas from them. So like I brought up Lindsay Bruhan and her video that got her tons of views. She's doing more and more and more content about relocating to Florida than she was doing previously, right? Now, obviously, like we're here in Michigan. I don't know where everyone's at, but like, most of us are here in Michigan. We can use that same type of content.
Mhm.
It's obviously not necessarily going to be about relocating to sunny Florida, but it
Mhm.
can be like, when, the weather goes from like, and maybe you have like a hot beach thing to then now you're holding like cider donuts or something like that. Like
Mhm.
you could totally do something along those lines. There's so much opportunity. Fall in Michigan is beautiful. And we're going to be pretty warm, I would think, usually through September, even into October a little bit, usually. So we still have some time to get some cool content.
Mhm.
um, I have been intentional about doing B-roll as much as I can. So B-roll, whether it's like if I'm driving down the street, if I'm in a scenic neighborhood or a pretty neighborhood, I'll just roll down my window and hold my phone. Now I will tip my phone like towards like as I'm coming, so then it's not like choppy and making people dizzy. So like it's like I'm looking down the road, and I just use that as some of my content, like some B-roll background. Like you just need the background. You don't need necessarily any specifics. Same thing with like showing a house, like panning around the house. There's so many different things that you can do to have extra video that you can just throw on your information on there on the screen that is going to be helpful. You don't have to have your face in every single video. But I do think that it's important, especially now, to make sure that we are putting our faces in these videos because the market is slower. We have a little bit more time right now. I mean, I know that there's some agents who are just absolutely crushing it. And in some markets, it's still pretty busy. I mean, I would even say it's still pretty busy here. I'm just slow right now. So I know that it's going to turn around soon as I'm going out of town tomorrow, so guaranteed it will pick up tomorrow. But um, I'm hoping that this downtime, it's given me a little bit more time to be a little bit more creative. I'm thinking a little bit more about the content that I'm posting. Like I've noticed Marissa's been a lot more intentional about some of the stuff she's posting.
Yeah.
So I think if you're, when you have some downtime right now, you could be thinking about what everyone else is thinking about, right? Like everyone is worried about inflation, the cost of things, like, so you can make some funny videos. Like I've been dying to do one of those videos where it says like, if I chip in $500 and my husband chips in $597,000, we could buy this house,
Right.
or something like that. Same thing with my best friend could do that. Like
Yeah.
you could do something along those lines that would be super easy to do. You
Yeah.
don't that's just one that's been in my mind that I wanted to do. So
Your Travis and Taylor whatever
yeah,
post, obviously that was all the rage last week or whenever
right.
the engagement was. I like, so if you had missed it, Nicole did one where it was like, if they move to Ann Arbor, here's the home that they may live in, right? And it was like active homes for sale that were like really luxury, fit some of their lifestyle things that they post about. So like that's really creative. Take something that's trendy and like a hot topic of conversation for the week and find a way to even remotely tie real estate to it, right? And just you're staying in front of your audience in a creative way. The other thing I'll jump in and add here too, because I like your point, Nicole, of like kind of going back and just being even more intentional when we do have, even if it's a slow week, right? Maybe I'm not catching any listing appointments this week, but my entire business isn't slow. I just don't have anything on the radar for this week. So what can I do to be intentional with this extra time? I just went through I took down all my links and I'm like revamping my websites, my lead captures. Nicole just went through and redid like all of her headers on things. Take a second and just like, do I still like the way that my branding is coming across? Can I make a tweak to, not that we want to go changing like color palettes and major things, right? But can we just tweak and enhance a little bit? Can we modernize a little bit? Can I change the way it flows or reads? Like, when's the last time that you went back and looked at the newsletter that you're sending out or looked at your website from a client experience? Is it easy to navigate? Can I find what I'm looking for? Is there another guide or resource that I can come up with? And then drive your intentional content that you're now doing to that. Like, if you're doing, I'll use Nicole as an example again. If I'm doing what I get for 500,000 in Ann Arbor, well, then I'm going to also set up in my caption to like to either DM or comment Ann Arbor to get my moving guide, right? And then here's all my checklists, here's all my blah, 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 other value and contact info. And then it's a lead capture. So, how do I take this intentional content I'm doing and generate leads from it? It's not just staying out there, staying in front of people. I would like more business. So, then what are you giving them? What other value to get their contact information, to get the comment, to get the engagement? It's usually some sort of guide, some sort of value, some sort of freebie. It can be a home value tool. Nicole, I know, also uses Fellow, which is like a listing tool. So we can send home value traffic there for her. So that's a big one. And then it like automates and engages and does all the fancy things on them from there. We need to make sure we're sending lots of traffic to Fellow, right? If we're paying for these resources or you have a newsletter or you have guides, send traffic to it. Otherwise, why are
Right.
you wasting your time and money?
Right. I think this is also, now we're going off slightly, I'm going to go off a little slightly from the topic, but like this is a great time to reevaluate what you're spending money on, right? Like, what am I spending my money on? Like, I was going to cancel Fellow. Turns out I can't. Well, guess what? Since I can't do it, we're going to double down on it and we're going
Yeah.
to make it work for our money.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like Marissa was just saying, we send out a weekly newsletter for my client list. I like, sorry, I couldn't think of the words.
Yeah.
Um, I never really liked the header. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to change the title of my newsletter. So now I changed it from, it just like connecting you around Ann Arbor. So now it says like around the nest, Ann Arbor edition, your keys to the community. Like how cuter. That's so much cuter.
It's so cute.
So
Yeah.
much cuter. So then, and then I put a couple pictures of Ann Arbor that I had taken. I put them in there and it's just so much cuter now. And so like looking at your stuff, going through your website, making sure none of the links are broken,
Yeah.
making sure that your everything matches, everything is similar. Make sure, update your headshot if you want to, put that on there. Like there's a lot of different things that you could be doing in this moment while things are slow. And all these things are going to help you in the long run.
Yeah.
But I think if you are, and maybe that's something you even take a video of, like
Hmm.
updating my header. Which one do you like better? This one or this one? Like, do a
Yes.
poll. Figure
Yes.
out, do people like this one better because it's sleek, or do they like this one better because it shows a little more personality? Like, what is it that you can do to provide, some sort of content that's going to then come back to you? I mean, what if you create this whole thing and everyone else thinks it's horrible and you're like, oh, well, maybe I'll stick with the other one then since so many people like it. Like there's a lot of different things you could do. And I was just thinking too, Marissa, when you're talking about like the gifts and all that stuff for teachers or back to school basic, like the things that my kids are taking back to school, create a list on Amazon and make that list a link. And now you could potentially, you have to sign up to do all the stuff, but you could potentially get revenue from that. So
Hmm.
there's different things that you can do like that. Even if you're just doing it for fun,
Yeah.
you can still create a list. So this is, by the way, now that we are in September, great time to start thinking about what you're going to be doing in the winter, right? So if you're going to do like last year took us months, but oh my God, we did like a Christmas newsletter. What was that thing? A Christmas like magazine or something? Oh my,
Yeah, we did a special like shopping list of like Nicole's favorite things or whatever, and it was a whole guide we put together with links, and we did like a special newsletter around it, and
it
yeah,
was intense.
it was
It was
intense.
it was a lot of work, way more than I thought it would be. But how cool would it be if you teamed up with like two other agents or three other agents on your team and you created a guide with all of your favorite things,
Yeah.
right? Like, or maybe like Marissa, she's like, this is what I'm getting for my baby.
Yeah.
This is what I want for my baby. This is what my husband wants. Like, ask the men in your life, like, what would you want for Christmas? Create a list of those things. Plus, it'll give you ideas on what they want,
Right.
or things that they like. Ask your teenage kids or your nephew and nieces what they would like. You could start creating a list of things, and then you could create templates in Instagram, or I'm sorry, in Canva that you could be posting, through ManyChat, like comment
Yeah.
teen, if you want the teen, gift list or whatever. So this is a great time to start thinking too about what you're going to be doing ahead of time. If you're going to start doing pop buys, if you're doing something for Christmas presents for your clients or whatever, this is a great time to start planning that. Like, I've already started thinking about some of the things I'm doing. I have a client event coming up. So I was like brainstorming about some of the things I want to do for that. On top of then like what I'm going to be doing for my clients who bought in the last year. So there's a lot of stuff that's coming up. This last quarter is what you want to start thinking about for the next quarter. So this is also a great time to start thinking about what you're going to be doing from, what are we right now? We're in Q3 now.
Still Q3, but barely, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
we're
Yeah.
about to be in Q4. So we need to start thinking about what we're going to be doing in Q1.
Yeah.
So this is a great time to start planning, put together your list. I think one of the biggest things that I think a lot of us do is we get excited and we want to do something, and then we drop the ball. We forget that we were going to do that thing. So why not create your list and say like, okay, I want to touch my clients starting next year. Because you don't stress out about doing something right now. You can think about next quarter. Think about like, okay, Q1, we have New Year's, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. Where do I want to, and New Year's, what do I want to do for my clients during that time? Is there anything I want to do? Do I want to touch them or at least just say hi, quarter one, quarter two? What do we have next? What holidays are in there? Where is there stuff that I want to send to them? And then come up with your list and plan ahead. Marissa's really good about her yearly calendar. She had me buy one. I filled it out once. It's still dated for everything for 2024.
I've
Oh,
got the blurry screen on,
I
but
was gonna
I've
say
got
it's
it
blurry.
right in front of me at all times.
But it's great. I mean, she has on there like she's going to be doing her pop buys on this day. So she needs to start prepping them 2 weeks before. She needs to buy all the stuff a month before. So then she's not stressing out about getting everything right now, because that I am that person who's like, oh my God, I just saw the cutest little thing. Let me buy all the stuff. And then I don't have time to assemble it and then come up with the addresses I'm going to take it to and then actually drive it. Don't get me started. So if you plan ahead, you're going to be planning for your success instead of planning for your failure, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
And all that too, like you can and should be posting about it, right? So like this very much does still circle back to our actual content for today, which hopefully it's helpful regardless. But any of these steps you're doing, post about it. Put a poll of what should I give away for New Year's. Put a poll for should I host a Valentine's or a Galentine's thing this year? Who would want to come? Boom, lead capture, right? Like have a sign up. Nicole did are we going to do a chili cook-off again this winter,
soup
right?
cook-off. Yes,
You
everyone
had
loves the soup
so
cook-off. We're
many
definitely doing it again.
comments and engagement from just posting, I'm thinking of doing this. Boom, 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 boom. A million people commented, right? So it's all about just engaging, like especially when we're slow, come up with something creative. One Nikki, who is normally a host on here, Nikki just posted about her two local school districts. She created, I don't even remember what calendar it was, but created like
They
a
were the school
calendar
district calendars. Yeah.
relevant for the school district. And she got so many leads. I literally think it was like 300 some people signed up for her magnet that she wanted or that they
Wow.
wanted. She got all of their contact information because she's mailing it. So she has phone numbers, emails, addresses for like 300 some people in her very local school districts now. And they all raised their hand that they wanted this tool. Well, okay, great problem. It cost me maybe $2 for each of those leads, right? Because I have to mail out this magnet. I created a post about it. I created an easy lead capture in Flowdesk or whatever the heck that I already had. You can just do a Google form if you don't. And then boom, I send out all of this from there, right? I think it was a good chunk of people. And so like just do that. Do that for your local area. She didn't even boost it or nothing, but like just put something out. Put this holiday guide. And again, it's all Canva. It can be Canva and free. You don't even have to mail anything. People would
So
love that stuff.
in that holiday guide, I went in the Ann Arbor mom group and I just said, I actually
Mm,
asked, I said, hey, I'm working on a holiday guide for my client. I'm a realtor. I'm looking for a holiday, I'm creating a holiday guide for my clients. I would love to know if anyone has any recommendations for their favorite local businesses that specialize in this, this, and this.
yeah.
And I said, if you want to be added to the list to get my guide, DM me your email address. So
Yeah.
I had so many people reach out to me. They were like, oh, I'd love to be featured. So I tried to feature as many of the people who, I mean, their stuff made sense, but
Right.
also like there's a couple of people I didn't put in there and I felt kind of bad. But for the most part, I tried to put everybody in there that I thought would bring value or was something cool or unique. And I loved that it was local. I'm helping another local mom.
Yeah.
So I tried to really think about how I could be intentional about it. And then I did send them all of the guide after it was done. So you just want to have it done, early December would be ideal to have it done. So then if people, or even November, to make sure that it's
Mm.
ready to go for the holiday season. So
That reminds me, if we're going to do that again, we should probably start working on that and getting the post out because
well,
it took
what's
a
best?
while.
The best thing about it at this point is all we have to do is redo links and like things.
Yeah.
So
Just freshen it
yeah,
up.
we can work together on that.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
that's funny.
yeah,
That
but I
also
mean,
brought up another good point though, Nicole. Like again, if we're posting and business is slow, go engage in local groups. Are you in a mom's group? Are you in a school group? Are you in a book club? Are you in a Julie does her pickleball stuff, right? Like double down on that effort too. What are you doing with your local groups and stuff that you're in? Go attend a meeting of a something else realtors, right? Try and find a new referral partner, try and make more connections. Go find another vendor that you can refer business back and forth with. Like take advantage of this time being slower and get creative to find business. And you can even post, like I just posted, we've got a client event coming up for another client of mine. She was looking for a bounce house and a face painter. I posted that and then I reached out to all those people. Like those are now business connections for me that I can refer stuff back and forth. Like anything is a way, if you just think creative, anything can be a way to generate more business. Post something. Everyone wants to be helpful. Everyone wants to help you make connections. Everyone's got a guy, right? We just have to
right.
ask. So anything can be content and help generate additional business for you. It's just a matter of doing it. And done is better than none. Don't overthink it. If you're not as creative in Canva or you're not as creative in anything where it's like, okay, I'm just going to make easy Google Forms, great. That's still better than 99% of people.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing that you can do is just think about what you would want to be seeing, right? Like if you want to attract people who you like, I mean, you usually like yourself, right? Like, so think about the things that you would be interested in watching or you would be interested in reading. So think about all of that stuff. And I think I just said think about 20 times in that two sentences. Um, it's important to look back. I really think this is a big thing, is to look back at what reels you've done in the past. What posts have you done in the past that are like really good? The other thing, a little trick that I learned is if you post something, like let's say you post something like, if I were to do like my soup cook off, right? Like I was like, I freaking love soup. This is like this time of year makes me want soup. Like, would anybody be interested in doing like a soup cook off with me? And I had 100 some comments on that. Well, guess what? A day later, 2 days later, I had a new listing. So now, because I've engaged and I've gotten all of these people, now I post this listing, all these people are going to see it again because they just commented, they just did all this stuff. So now their algorithm sees that we're communicating and they're going to see my new listing. And you could do the same thing. I've seen other realtors, we talked about this briefly, but I've seen other realtors who are like listing of the week
Yeah.
or like the details, look at the details, it's in the details or something, and then they post a house that has all these like super cool details that you don't just see in these like cookie cutter houses. These are the things that like you could even say things that you love about being a realtor, like seeing the unique characteristics in the house, like seeing a good landscaped yard or the things that you look for. Like these are things that you could absolutely do. Other things are like the educational stuff. A video I did, I haven't posted it. I don't know why I haven't posted it, but it was like things that I'm looking for in a showing. So like you could say some agents open doors. I'm the one like nitpicking the house to make sure that you're, going to get a good house or whatever. Make up the words. I'm not great with that. But like showing that you're looking at like water stains on the ceiling, or you're looking for, history of water in the basement, or you're looking for, foundation
Window
issues.
seal leaks,
Right.
whatever.
You're
Okay, yeah.
looking like, what are the things that you're looking at versus what they're looking at? So let them picture what their life's going to be like in the house. Meanwhile, I'm over here checking to make sure that, there's no safety concerns. So I think that those are the things that we can spin it to show how we are knowledgeable, that we can show that we're the people that they can trust. Because when they're buying a house, like how many people do you know who have complained after they bought a house that this, and this went wrong, or this was so terrible during the whole oh my God, transaction? Or here's my favorite one to do right now. This is what I've been doing with my very, very tiny pipeline, is I'm actually scrolling through and looking for houses and seeing different houses. Like I've looked on like Marketplace, I've looked on Zillow, like for sale by owners and stuff, to see what else is out there that they might not be seeing. Even if I see that they have seen it, it's already in their portal. If I think it's a good opportunity for them, I'm sending it to them and saying, hey, did you see this house? Like, because how many people say, "Ah, I don't even know why I had a realtor. Like, I'm the one who found the house." Well, you found the house because it was in the search that I sent you, but like I didn't send it to you directly, so you didn't think that I found it for you. But this is the type of stuff that we have time to do a little bit more now. So, Renee, you were saying that you had a listing that, you were kind of struggling with right now. Feel you, because I have the same exact problem. But this is a great time to like rethink, like how else could you market that property? Maybe you do a new video. Maybe you do, sorry, like all of a sudden the lighting just got really weird in here. Maybe you figure out a new video to do, or maybe you go and try out something that you saw on Instagram, or maybe that you create something a little bit different, change the marketing up. Think about like storytelling and what living in this property would look like. How far is it from downtown? How close are you that you could just walk downtown? Maybe go do a video of what's in walking distance of that house. Like different ways, we can think about different ways to market our properties now that we're, maybe not bombarded with business.
Mhm.
I feel like I just talked a lot.
It was good. It was all good.
Um, do you have any other ideas, Marissa, on different things? I mean,
No, that pretty much summarizes it. And like you said, like with the training of the algorithm, if you missed last week's session with Brad, go back and rewatch that, because another hack. So I guess I do have one more thing. Another hack that he brought up that I am going to start experimenting with, because I used to be such a hater on the the hide from followers option in Instagram. I saw, and it was right before he talked about it. It came up in my feed as I was just like scrolling through reels, and it was a girl. I don't even remember much about her, to be honest, but it stood out to me because she was like, "Hey, you don't follow me yet. And here's what, like, here's why we should connect," and blah, blah, blah. And like, it was this cutesy little video. It got me to stop my scroll because I'm like, how the heck do you know I don't follow you yet? And so it like made me think. And then when he was talking about it, where he will post like, I think it's 10 reels a day.
he said, don't do 10 because you'll get shut.
Oh, okay, well, even if you did one, right? Even if you did one a day, the same stinking video of just connecting with your ideal audience. So again, maybe it's here's why you should move to Ann Arbor. So find something that connects with your ideal candidates that are not already your followers, and post it every freaking day. It will never
Yeah.
show up in your feed. It doesn't show up on your profile. It just blasts it out to people who
These are the
don't follow
trial
you.
reels.
The trial reels. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Just
it
so
like
we're
it's
clear.
non-followers only. And so people that are already on your list are never going to see this. So that's why you can post the same video every day, and
Yeah.
no one knows. Literally no one will ever know. And so create something where you're attracting your ideal people. Takes 2 seconds to repost every single day, and just blast it out. And I was like, oh, I love that idea, because that one caught my attention. It was,
Yeah.
hey, you don't follow me yet. Here's why you should. And like, here's all the value you'd get from my page. That one was probably a little boring, right? But like, find a way to attract your ideal people, try out a bunch of different versions, and then whatever one sticks, post it every freaking day as a trial reel and see what happens.
That's a good idea. I like that idea. Because I mean, how many times, like, I don't know about you, but like for me, I feel like there's so many reels that I like, but I'm like, it's not really my aesthetic
Yeah, yeah.
necessarily. It's not really like my niche, if you
Yep.
will, like, so, but I'm gonna do that. I'm still gonna
Yep.
do it because who's to
Who cares?
say that it won't get me more followers or won't bring in potential business if I'm
Yep.
saying like, hey, you don't follow me, but here's the reasons why you should move to Ann Arbor. Or here's
Yep.
why, if I were you, I would want to think about moving to Brighton, or I
Yep.
want to think about moving to XYZ. Like
Yep.
you could think of different ways to get in front of these people, or even do like a montage of like the things that you do that are cool about you, or different
Yep.
things about you. Like, hey, you don't follow me, but I'm a realtor. I do all this cool stuff
Yep.
and you should follow me. Or you could say, I do all this cool stuff and I'm a realtor
Yep.
and I'm going to make, our transaction fun or something like that. Like
For sure.
you could totally do some stuff like that that would really, I think, bring in some more interest into um into the whole, Instagram. I mean,
Hmm.
Instagram, I think I've gotten lots of leads from Instagram. I've
Yeah.
gotten lots of leads from other local realtors. That's another thing that you could do right now is go to local realtors in different areas. Like maybe, like for instance, here in Michigan, we know lots of people move to Florida,
Hmm.
lots of people move to the Carolinas, lots of people move to Texas. So why not reach out to agents in those areas, find
Hmm.
somebody who you vibe with or who you like their aesthetic, follow them, chit chat it up. Now you have a referral partner.
Right.
So now if something comes up, and how many of these people, I have met so many people in different areas, they will see a referral for Ann Arbor and they will tag me in it because they remember who I am. So I might not always remember who they are, but they remember who I am, and vice versa. Same thing. I'll see something, I'll be like, oh, Charlotte, I have somebody in Charlotte. Oh, somebody in Austin. I know somebody in Austin. So that's a great way to connect with other people. Same thing if you know of different areas that are hot spots, just connect because you never know. Somebody from your area might be relocating to that area and they've
Yeah.
already connected with that agent and now they have to sell their property here. You never know what might happen.
Yeah.
So, highly recommend getting that. And then you'd be surprised. I had a girl who I did a deal with in, where was she at? Like somewhere near Miami. And I did it, my clients were moving down there. She referred them to me. And then shortly after, I had another client moving down there. So I referred that client to her. And we've done business a couple times together now because the first deal went great that she
Yeah.
referred me. So then now it's just been, we've had this little back and forth and it's great. I have another girl who used to live in Ann Arbor, moved out of Ann Arbor, but she refers me to every single person in her. She's with a different brokerage now, and she refers every single person to me who's coming into this area. So I think it's important to like build these relationships with other agents, whether they're local or not, just so you can have stuff to do. I mean, like I said, doing the like bouncing in between, bouncing over to people's open houses or whatever, who you can totally do that and connect with people.
And post your wins too. Like if you have that Miami person that you've done a couple deals with, like share that, especially in something like on LinkedIn where it's very professional heavy. Like just had another successful one with Nicole. And we did blah 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 together. Like send any referrals that you have in St. Clair Shores my way. Like I would love to help serve you too. Like any wins like that, share because that I'm gonna be attracted if Nicole is closing my business and referrals that I'm sending her versus, and sorry, I'm just gonna pick on it because we have two people on here. So like Renee, maybe I sent Renee a deal and it didn't get to the closing table, but Nicole has closed two deals for me. Where do you think I'm gonna send my business when I have in Michigan, right? If I'm not Michigan based, I'm gonna keep sending to Nicole. So if
Yeah.
I see Nicole is closing a bunch of deals up here for referrals, I'm gonna search Nicole, and they do that, right? Like when someone will post and then ask for a referral in Traverse City, I'm going to go and click on, if I'm the consumer and I'm the one asking for the referral, I'm going to go click on all these people's pages and see do they actually do business or not. So then if I can see closed, win, this win, blah, 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 doing this kind of business, like it's all positive. So post any activity you're doing, post any win, post it again. If it was a referral, post it as the closing and show off your listing and buy side and all the good things you did for the client, tell that story, but then also tell the referral story.
Mhm.
Lindsay from Florida gave me this person and blah 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 blah. It's been 6 months we've been working together and blah, right? Like I let Lindsay know monthly what was going on. Like if you have anyone in Ann Arbor I can serve, send them my way. So like creating content around that too. I'm speaking to people to refer me more business and buyers and sellers because we need both. We want to encourage both.
Yeah. And just thinking about that too, for the referral. Like, let's say I'm like, oh, I did an amazing deal with Renee today. I love that. I would do the same thing even on like local deals. If you're friends on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, make sure you're saying like, oh, amazing deal with Marissa or Renee or Danielle. And, such a great time. Like, we had such a great closing. Like, we overcame so much to get to this closing table, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. All of that just shows one, you're great to work with. Two, the other person's going to share it, especially if it's on Instagram. So like my girl in Florida, if I share and say like, hey, I referred her this person, she took such good care of him. Thank you so much. She's going to share that. Now, she might have other people who are following her that don't follow me who are going to see it and be like, oh, she's a good referral partner. I'm going to follow her or vice versa. So you have a lot of opportunity because most people, if you're tagging them in stuff, they're going to repost it. So make sure you're posting all of that stuff. Even if you sent a referral and it didn't go anywhere, be like, just thanks so much for taking care of my client. Like, you don't even have to necessarily say like whether it went bad or good. You just say, thank you so much for taking care of my client. Or like maybe you have a friend who you really like their content and you just want to share some of their content. Like, ever thinking about moving to Florida? Here's my girl. She's the best person to go to. This is the one you need to talk to. Like, that kind of stuff goes a long way. And then you're also buttering up the other agent. So they're going to like you and they're going to want to share that content anyway because you're promoting them. So think about your people in your other areas that you could connect with. So that's a great way to just to make deeper connections with agents all over.
Yeah. Love it.
All right. Well, we are almost at 1 o'clock. I feel like we've yapped a lot. I hope that you guys got a lot out of this. We're going to post this over to Instagram. I'm sorry, I meant to YouTube. And then we have our next Modern Agent Blueprint on the 16th. And that one is going to be what would I do if I was starting over with no pipeline or the pipeline dries up, right? And that's kind of where I'm at right now. So we're going to be talking about a lot of the stuff that we're doing a little bit differently to really boost our business to help try to refill that pipeline up when things go slow. So we will see you guys back on the 16th. And other
Yeah.
than that, you guys have a great day. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you, Marissa.
Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.